Hey, what's good people? This is Travail C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, your self-worth specialist, and this is the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the place where possibilities become perspective. That's right. This is where your possibilities become, yes, perspective, guys. I want to welcome you guys into another episode / experience in the I'm the Possible universe. I'm so excited to rock with you once again this week. So excited to bring to you another installment of this series on change. We began this series a couple of weeks ago, and we have been we have been helping, we have been speaking to, we have been encouraging those of you out there who have felt like, I'm stuck. I can't move forward. I take 2 steps forward and I feel like I'm taking 2 steps back. Every time I get going, something, ruins it, or I just feel like in my own personal life that I just can't experience the kind of change that I want to see in a particular area in my life. And I want to continue. This is going to be part 2 of the You Have the Power to Choose and to Change. And I'm so excited about it because choice is something that we all use. It's not like it's a big epiphany. It's like it's not like it's a new thing, right? Like, oh, we have the power to choose. Oh, we have choice. But what I'm learning, right, and what I'm starting to observe in society is that it's the little things. It's the things that you would think everyone is aware of, everyone is knowledgeable of, everyone knows it. But it's not like we always leverage the little things. It's not like we always leverage the things that come so easily, right? And choice is one of those things. God has given us the power of choice, y'all, and we can choose anything that we want. In fact, we've been choosing all of our lives. In fact, the very fact that you're listening to this podcast right now is evidence that you chose to listen to it. However you're listening to it, wherever you're listening to it, you chose to listen, right? That was a decision that you made. So I want to, in the next couple of minutes, really dial in on one choice you can make that's going to be the catalyst for your change. Okay? Listen, guys, one of the things that we really strive to do, that we really desire to do, that we really hope to do with this podcast, with this platform, is to really give insight to and awareness to the things that are already available to you. Many times we get caught up in what I have to attain, what I have to achieve, what I have to get, who I got to be around. And what I'm learning is we have already been equipped with like 99.9% of everything that we need to achieve, to have success, to be happy, to have joy, to live a satisfied and fulfilled life. Like, we come with 99.9% of that already built in. What I'm discovering is it is a lack of awareness. It is a lack of awareness. It is a lack of knowing and seeing what's already there, right? You guys know that our flagship motto, flagship quote, flagship thought is that the greatest thing that you will ever become is accepting of what you already are. It's the idea that you already are enough. You're already awesome. You're already significant. You're already important. You're already equipped for success. You're already blessed and anointed. You're already in a relationship with God, even if you don't know it, because God is so big, you can't separate yourself from God. Now, I don't want to go down that, path and just start preaching on some other stuff but guys, it's about awareness. It's about awareness of what you already have, and choice, the ability to choose. That's something that you already have, and I want to dive into that today. Now, there's a particular choice that I want to talk about. Okay, now for those of you who are on YouTube, who are watching this, right, we have an audio version, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening. And then we have the video version of this podcast as well, available on YouTube. And so if you're watching me live, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get to this slide. Again, this is part 2 of You Have the Power to Choose and to Change. And we're going to go back to something that we touched upon earlier, okay, in the very first episode of this series, right? Environment, guys. We're going to stay here for a little while. Environment. And I really want to do a little bit of a deep dive on environment in terms of really unpacking the power of the environment, okay? Change your environment. Change everything. I'll say that one more time. Change your environment. Change everything. Guys, the fact that you have the power of choice, that you get to choose what you do, where you go, who you hang with. I don't want you another day in your life to take that lightly. That perhaps is the greatest gift besides Jesus himself, besides us having a relationship with God, just like onto itself. I think that choice is the greatest gift God has ever given us. It's so powerful when you realize, because so many people think and have been convinced and has been, they've been trained to think, and I was one of them, that I didn't have a choice, that I was trapped, that this is my lot in life, that I'm no good for anything, or that I'm not worthy for anything. Why? Because look at my circumstances, and and I can't change my circumstances. I can't do anything. This is how it is. This is how we roll. This is how we do it. I was in that same funk. I was in that same junk. I felt trapped and isolated and alone, like you may be feeling right now. I get it, guys. I'm from the hood, as they say, right? And in the hood, that environment breeds hopelessness. It breeds despair. It breeds fear. It breeds frustration. It breeds thoughts of suicide and thoughts of calamity and thoughts of tragedy. And many times, a lot of that comes to life. It's real. Right? The things that I witnessed, the things that I saw in that environment, it was like proof to me. Like, dude, this is all life is. This is all that I'm going to ever be. This is all that I'm going to ever have. I don't know if you guys have ever heard my story one time that I shared, that there was a point in my life, I think I was around maybe 16, 17. And I said, all I want to do is smoke weed and make beats. I'm going to say that one more time. Maybe you didn't catch that. I said to everybody that would listen, I said, man, all I want to do with my life is smoke weed and make beats. Because back then I was rapping and I was doing my thing. I'm sharing this story to let you know where I was mentally, where I was, in my own mind. I had limited my life. I put a limitation on my life at like the age of 16 or 17. And I said, dude, all I want to do is smoke weed and make beats. That's it. That was where my spirit was. That was how crushed I was, right? So guys, get this. Change your environment. Change everything. Your environment, and I'm going to break it down in just a moment. Your environment dictates so much because it provides so much information that we usually take as insight to our situation. In other words, it's like the stuff that we encounter within our environment, and I'm gonna break it down in just a moment. It's we use that as a perception, right? Okay. Perspective is how you look at a thing. Perception. Okay, let me take a step back. Perception is the ability to look into and to understand a thing. Perspective, that's the angle, the vantage point. It's how you look at it. It's how you choose to view a thing and how you consider a thing. But your perception, guys, that is how you interpret the meaning of a thing. And many times when we're in the hood, or we're wherever we are, the environment that we're in, we're using the things that we see and that we encounter within that environment. We use that unknowingly as our perception. We think we understand how things work. We think we understand how life works. We think we understand God. We think we understand others. We think we understand ourselves because of the things that we're witnessing, the things that we're hearing, the things that we're doing, right? Because of our environment. So, guys, I really want you guys to hear this. Change your environment, change everything. And you may be saying, well, I can't change my environment. Okay, well, number one, yes, you can. Don't ever confess what you can't do again in your life. I am giving you license to never again say what you can't do. Number one, you can change your environment. Why? Because you change it every day. You don't stay in the literal same place every day of your life. You may go to sleep in a bed. You get out of your bed. You walk out of your bedroom, you've changed environments. Some of you guys, you get up, you go to work physically, right? With the quarantine and with COVID, some of us are working remote. But listen, if you get up, get in your car and you drive to work, you've changed environments. In fact, the minute you walk out of your front door or back door or side door, I don't care what door it is. When you leave your house, you are leaving one environment and entering another. So there's your evidence. There's your proof. You can change your environment. Because I know for many of you, when you hear the word environment, you're thinking some radical change. And sometimes that's appropriate. But let's start with the basics, the fundamentals, just knowing that you can change your environment. So change your environment, change everything. So let me break this down for you guys. All right, this is going to be a recap of what we kind of already went over the first week. But I really want to show this on the screen. So if you guys are listening to this and you would like a visual version, you would like to see my slides, you would like to see my face, right? Just have that personal connection, right? Or you know, but you're a visual learner, right? And you really want to see what I'm explaining, go to my YouTube channel, iAMthepossible. Just type that in, iAMthepossible, or just type in Travail C.W. Lynch on YouTube, and my channel will pop up. And if you haven't subscribed, man, go to YouTube and subscribe so that you'll get the latest, greatest videos and all my little extras that I throw up on there. All right. So check it out. Here we go. Number one, at the top, right? This is a hierarchy. Okay, this is a hierarchy. Environment is number one. Depending on your environment, you're going to be met with elements, right? Elements could be, okay, let's just keep using my example. I was in the hood. So environment is the hood. You have your elements that you bump up against. So the elements in the hood is, you got families, right? You got cookouts, you got guns, you got drugs, where I was, you got prostitution. You feel me? You got some violence. You got some cussing and somebody getting cussed out. You got drive-bys. But listen, it ain't always negative either. I mean, you got kids playing in the streets. You got girls down the street playing double dutch. You got, what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to paint this gruesome picture that, okay, if you're in the hood, that it's all negative. I'm just sharing some things that just kind of pop up. But environment is the hood. You got all these different things that are in the hood because you're there. Okay. So now the elements, you get exposed to them. Okay. So environment goes elements goes exposure. So because you're in that environment, you're going to be exposed to those elements. Based upon what you're exposed to, you're going to have encounters. For example, I was bullied most of my life, or most of my childhood. Let me say that. Between, let's say, elementary and junior high, those years, I was bullied a lot, picked on a lot, made fun of a lot. And that's not to say that wouldn't have happened in some other environment. I'm just telling you my story. That's all I can really share, right? Is my story. But I encountered bullying because I was exposed or exposure to, right, people that had mindsets that were conditioned and trained by the stuff that they saw in the hood, right? You see how this is starting to go? So now, based upon those encounters, I have now experiences. I experienced something. And these experiences, I can say, oh, Monday he ran me home. Oh, Tuesday they beat me up. Oh, Thursday they made fun of my shoes. Those are experiences, and those experiences stick to us. How? Through something called emotional education. In other words, your experiences educate or teach you how to feel. And unless you have been trained by a mindset coach or a life coach or someone that's in psych, which in those formative years, many of us were not, right? We're kids, right? We're not being trained on how the mind works and all this other stuff and neural pathways and all this other stuff. We don't know nothing about that. So we just taking what's coming at us, these encounters, we're experiencing this, junk. And then that emotional education is happening without us even being aware of it. So now we feel shame, we feel, embarrassment, fear, anger, rage, hopelessness. You guys starting to get the picture? See? Now through those experiences, you got that emotional education. Guess what that leads to now? Expressions. Because now you've been trained, now you've been conditioned. Just like the kids that were picking on me and bullying me, they had already gone through their progression, you see. They had already been in the environment. They had already, dealt with the elements. They had already been exposed. They had already had their personal encounters. They had already had their experiences, and their emotions had already been educated. So now they were expressing themselves on me, right? So now they're aggressive and they're all bitter and all angry and crazy in the head. So now they taking all that junk out on me now. And so now, based upon what I'm experiencing and being taught emotionally, I'm going to start to act out. And depending on who I am and how I'm being raised in the home and so many other factors, I'm going to then express certain things. Some people cut, some people go into isolation, some people go into depression. Some people commit suicide. Some people become a bully themselves. Whatever it is, they express and you express yourself. See, I want you to see yourself in this progression because that's going to be evidence to you. That's going to build your confidence. That's going to build your faith and trust in this thing called environment. Something that you can change. Remember, everything that I've gone through starts with environment, and you have the power to choose your environment. Thus, you have the power to change. Why? Because the last step to this, and if you're watching on the screen, it's called embodiment. Once you've expressed yourself long enough, you begin to embody that. That's when people say, oh, that person's like this. Oh, he's shady. Oh, don't go mess with that cat. Homeboy off the hook, homeboy shady. That's where you get those reputations. That's where you get that character, because now you've embodied those expressions over time and it becomes your personality. Whatever that embodiment is, it equals change. It equals change. Guys, I want you to really grasp that. Environment started everything, and it ended with an embodiment. It ended with a change. See, I didn't start off being afraid. I didn't start off being timid. I didn't start off being angry. I didn't start off being isolated. I didn't start off being depressed when I was a kid. I didn't start off that way. But because of the environments that my, mother and my grandmother, put me in, and it's not their fault. They were doing the best they could do. I would never fault them. They didn't have any idea. They were doing the best they knew to do. So it's never I'm going to point the finger at them. No. They were doing the very best that they could do. What happened was what had happened was the places that they chose for us to live just contained certain things. And I had certain experiences. And because of those experiences, guys, I was trained emotionally. I was trained to be afraid. I was trained to not trust. I was trained to think that my body was trash, or that my body belonged to somebody else. I mean, I've been molested by family members. I've been molested by total strangers because of the environments that I've been in, right? Those things leave scars. Those things cut deep. Those things educate my emotions, right? And so then I express fear and shame and all those other things, and then from that, then I'm embodying this, right? And then I come into relationships with other people and they wonder what's wrong with me. They wonder why I'm not so social. They wonder why I like to, why I stick to myself. They wonder why all these things. You don't know what I've gone through, right? You don't understand the education that my emotions have gone through. And the same is true for you. And I pray and hope that you grasp what I'm saying, that you get it, that you look at yourself, right? That you take those E's and that you look at that yourself. So I'm gonna go back to my slide, but if you're listening, I'm gonna run it down one more time. Go ahead and take out a pen, pad, or take out your iPhone or something and jot these down. And I want you this week to take inventory of how this has played out for you. You have environment that leads to elements, that leads to exposure, that leads to encounters, that leads to experiences, that lead to emotions or emotional education, that leads to expressions, that leads to an embodiment, which is a change, good or bad. All right, guys, let's move on. Got a few more things that I want to share with you. All right, so this week I want to introduce you to something called practice. That's not a new word for you, but it may be a new thing, a new activity, a new idea, something called practice. Okay, and before I get into what that practice is, I want to read something out of a book that my mentor and I have read multiple times, and we continue to journey through this book and really help each other really put these things into practice, right? So this is from a book called Just This by Father Richard Rohr. So it says, and if you're looking on the screen, it says, we need practices to help us realize that our minds and emotions are on cruise control, unconsciously trapped in a repetitive, even obsessive pattern that limits our ability to see or to truly understand. Without it, nothing new. Without practice, nothing new is really able to happen. What he's talking about, and I won't go into all of what the book talks about in terms of like contemplation and these different things, but these practices, right? These spiritual practices, they help to bring awareness to the repetitive, obsessive patterns of limiting thoughts and ideas that we have. That's the bottom line. Unless you're practicing some sort of ritual, some sort of activity that draws out and brings about an awareness, a consciousness to your patterns, to the ideas that continue to hinder you and limit you and hold you back. If you're not practicing something that's bringing light to that darkness, then you'll be forever trapped in that darkness. That's what it's saying, basically. Okay. Now, let me share one more thing with you, and then I want to get into a very practical practice. Okay. This book goes on to say, without practices that change our responses, we just keep endlessly repeating. See how that word, right? Repetitive, now repeating. We just keep endlessly repeating our cultural environment, right? Our culturally trained and already well practiced survival and control mechanisms. Many of us are on survival mode. We're in survival mode. We're not living, we're surviving. We're not thriving, we're surviving. We're not living a joyful life. We're not living the abundant life. We're not living happy lives. We're barely holding on. We're on the edge of the edge. As you meet somebody in the marketplace, hey man, how you doing? I'm just hanging in there. That's no way to live. But I won't fault them. I won't come down on them. If anything, I'll try to encourage them. I won't judge them. No, 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 no. I've been there. Hey man, just hanging in there. That's the best you can say. But see how that works, guys? Unless we're doing something that brings about a consciousness to what we're doing, to what we're thinking, to how we're feeling, then we can't change. We can't change, guys. And so I'm going to give you a very practical change, a very practical practice, I should say, not a practical change, a practical practice that will bring about your change, sticking with the idea of environment. Here we go, yo. Just waiting for my slide to change. All right. Practice new environments. That's right. You literally can practice new environments physically, mentally, and spiritually. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. You can practice new environments. That's good news, guys. That's good news. That's awesome news. You can practice new environments. See, without a practice, what? We're going to be stuck, because all we're going to be left to are the repetitive patterns we're going to keep on doing, right? Groundhog Day, aka Groundhog Day. If we don't practice something, if we don't have a routine, right? Some people don't like the word ritual. Sounds real spooky, but it's not. If you look it up by definition, it's not spooky, okay? But if you don't have a routine, a ritual, some things that you're doing on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, something, right? Decade basis, right? That helps you to be able to look inside of yourself and be able to identify patterns and thoughts and ideas and perspectives and perceptions and thought patterns and strongholds and all these mental things that are holding you back. Unless you have a practice in your life, then you're going to be stuck to the same old hamster wheel, same old Groundhog Day, right? Like the book said, nothing new is able to happen. And somebody out there, you guys are looking for a new life. You're looking for a new thing. You're looking to change, man. I feel you. You're looking to change, aren't you? Somebody out there, you are looking to change your life somehow, some way. There's a change that you desire and you haven't seen that change, and you don't believe that that change will ever occur. Let's get real for a minute. There's something that you desire desperately. I need to change this. I want to change this. I got to somehow, some way, someday change this area in my life, and you don't know where to start. Here's where you start. By using your power to choose to change your environment. Why? Because of what I already taught you. How the environment leads to all those other progressions that will ultimately lead to an embodiment within you. And when you change, everything else changes. Sometimes we're waiting for the world to change. The world is waiting on you to change. I'll say that again. Many of us are waiting for the world to change, things to change, people around us to change. No, the world is waiting for you to change. Then it will comply. We can either choose to be conformed to the world, or we can ensure that the world conforms to us, that the world complies to us. Which one do you want? Do you want to keep on making the excuse that life is just like this and that's all there is? Do you want to keep on playing that game? Do you want to keep on saying, listen, my life is like this and that's just how it is? Or, oh, this person is acting like this. And so, like, do you want to keep having a get out of jail free card? Do you want to keep having reasons and other people be your reason for not living the life that you know you could live? Do you want to keep on blaming other people, blaming other things, acting like it's someone else's fault, blaming God, getting mad at God, getting mad at life, getting mad at the president, at the government? Do you want to keep playing that game? Or do you want to say to yourself, listen, I get it. It's hard. It stinks. It's rough. Like, this is your inner dialogue. Like, you take a time, you take a moment and you speak to yourself, because you get tired enough, right? You get pissed off enough, you get tired enough, and you start saying to yourself, okay, this situation stinks. This ain't working for me. I don't like this. Okay, I just learned that I got the power to choose, because I've been choosing all my life. I choose where I go every day. I choose if I brush my teeth in the morning. I choose if I take a bath at night. I got choice. I can do it. All I got to do now is apply that choice to my environments, and I can literally change my life. That's that inner dialogue, guys. Like getting real with yourself. Because you either got one or two options, and then I'll continue. You either got continuously playing the game that you be playing. Let me say that again. Continuously playing the game you've been playing, or acknowledge and pray for the courage to continue to acknowledge the power that God has given you. It may take a prayer, and that's okay. I've prayed that prayer many times. God, give me the strength, give me the courage to walk in, to apply, to utilize what you've given me. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Come on, let's make that choice. Let's make that choice. All right. So here is the practical practice. Practice new environments. Practice new environments. And I'm about to show you a few right now on the screen. And if you're not watching, you should be watching. But if you're not watching, then I'll go ahead and explain what they is. Number one, take a vacation. I want to give you some examples. You ain't got to listen to the exact examples. I want to share a few so that it sparks the imagination, so that it gets the wheels turning, right? How do I change my environment? What do I do first? If you got the funds, man, forget that. Even if you ain't got the funds, I say take a vacation. Here's what I mean by even if you ain't got the funds. Who gets to decide what a vacation is? You do. That means you literally can take a room in your house or apartment or condo or wherever you is. You can take a separate room and just switch some things around or take everything out of it. Like, I'm giving you some bare bones stuff, right? Because some of us may say, well, I ain't got the money to fly to Hawaii. I ain't got the money to go to Jamaica. I ain't got the money to, that's cool, man. I get it. If you got the money, plan for 2022 to take a vacation. If you ain't got the money, take a room in your house and go down to the 99-cent store. If you ain't got a 99-cent store where you live, go down to that bargain store where everything is real cheap and get a few little decorations. Go in one of them rooms in your house, man. Put up some decorations, right? Get a little theme going. Get a little, a little hallelujah. Okay, y'all know what I'm trying to say. One of them Hawaiian themes going. Whatever it is, man, whatever it is, get a theme going in your room. Change it up a little bit. Get you some cocktails or get you some drinks or get you some food that, aligns with that place, and go on a room vacation, man. Just go in that room for a couple of days, take a day off of work, and just, unplug the phone and cut the TV off, whatever, and go in that room and relax. Change your environment. Guys, when you change your environment, everything begins to change. The next one. So that's like a physical thing, right? Or you can change your association, right? You got vacation, association. Change the people that you hang around. Go find some new friends. Go to the coffee shop, meet some new people. That's as easy as walking into a place and saying, hello, how you doing? Hey, what brought you here today? Some of you guys might want to join a fitness club or, some sort of team activity, some sort of, something that's going to put you in a place where there's new people. That's basically what I'm trying to say, right? Join something, a club, an activity, a gym, a sports team. Just get into a place where there's new people that are doing a thing, right? For some of you, it might be time for you to take up that sport you've been wanting to take up, or take up that activity that you've been wanting to take up, or do that thing that you've been wanting to do, because that's how people galvanize. They galvanize around like activities. Speaking of which, guys, I want to share with you really quickly. because I'm just at about my time. I try to keep these full episodes at about 40 minutes. All right. So just so that you guys know, I like to keep it around 40 minutes. I like to keep my bonus tracks about 20 minutes. All right. So coming close to the end here, but I want to share with you guys now. After coming out here to Southern California, one of the environments I changed was going to the gym. Right. I put on a lot of weight and I needed to lose some weight. And I met a brother at my gym, Tony Johnson. Shout out to my man, Tony Johnson, TJ. He helped me to lose 75 pounds. He had been a district manager over at Bally's Total Fitness for some years. And yeah, man, we met every day. We went to the gym, and over about a year or so, he helped me to lose 75 pounds. Guys, that was transformation. That was change from a physical perspective because of the environment that Tony took me in. Ever since that experience with Tony, guess what? I've been a gym rat ever since. It is hard for me. In fact, when I get done recording this, I'm headed to the gym. I record these episodes at 5 a.m. Okay. And so sometimes when you hear my speech kind of slurred a little bit, it's the, you know what I'm saying? It's just that early morning, you know what I'm saying? Getting up, but I'm usually either at the gym by 5 or so. But yeah, even after recording this, I'm gonna hit the gym after this. I'm a gym rat now. Okay. Listen, pray for me. Pray for me. I'm addicted, man. I need that physical movement. Okay. But again, why am I sharing this? Okay. I'm going to share with you 3 quick names, man. 3 quick names. And I won't spend a lot of time on them. Number 1, Tony changed my life. You guys remember I shared last time about my new book, What is Enough? Okay. What is enough? There was a woman at the sauna, a woman in the sauna that I write about in the first chapter of that book. She, along with another group of people, really sparked. They were really the catalyst for me writing that entire book. So I wrote a book because of my environment. I have a brother from another mother, Josh Guerrero. He is my mindset coach and so much more. But I got introduced to psychology and how the mind works. I got introduced to, so much information that empowered me and that continues to empower me, that continues to strengthen my life, that mentor, that accountability, right? I'm able to walk and I'm able to live and I'm able to think on a whole new level because of Josh. Guess where I met Josh? At the gym, in the sauna. My man, Brian LaCour. Shout out to my man, Brian LaCour, man. Awesome dude. Just a great relationship. He's in psych as well. Just a great guy. Actually, he just came over. He's from the New England area. He came over just yesterday on Sunday. Watched the Cowboys beat down we really didn't beat them down, but we watched the Cowboys game and the Patriots. But yeah, man, I mean, when you introduce someone to your home, you really love that person. You really like that person. So again, met Brian at the gym in Pasadena, and we've been friends ever since. We've been connecting ever since. And so there's 3 examples right there. One woman helped me write a whole book. Tony helped me transform my physical body. Josh helped me transform my mental body. And Brian has helped me to transform my relational body. Guys, come on, man. All because of my environment. Okay, it's all because of my environment. I'm not going to share with you something that I'm not doing. I'm not going to share with you something that ain't been working for me. That's a very practical. I don't want to get deep. I can get deep, but why? Let's keep it basic. Let's keep it practical. Get a gym membership and just get around some new people, right? That can literally change your life. And then lastly, meditation. I just kept with my Asians, right? Vacation, association, meditation, right? I just kept with my, my Asians. But the last one is meditation. Guys, the power of your inner thoughts, your inner world, your imagination. I could do a whole episode on the imagination. I don't care where you are. When you close your eyes, you can go anywhere. And through meditation, you are able to take your spirit, you are able to take your mind, you are literally even able to take your body to places of, great peace, great tranquility. You're able to calm yourself, right? And on many levels, you're even able to heal, right? Through the power of meditation and through stealing your thoughts, right? Even the Bible tells us, man, that blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, right? He don't sit with the mockers. He don't hang with the sinners. But what does he do? He meditates on God's word both day and night. Meditating, chewing, thinking through, pondering on that word day and night. It goes on to say that he is like a tree planted by streams of living water, who yields his fruit in season, whose leaves never wither, and whatever he does prospers. Do you want a life like that? Do you want a life like that, where your leaves never wither? Do you want a life like that, where you are as if you are planted by streams of water, always being replenished, always being refreshed? Do you want a life like that, that whatever you touch, right? You got that Midas touch. Whatever you touch works. I've been living that life. That's not a brag, but I've been living that life. A part of the reason that I've been living that life, guys, is because I meditate on God's word, because I do meditate on many different levels. That's one of the contributors. It's not the end all do all, but it's one more tool in my bag. It's one more thing that I've learned to leverage. It's one more thing that has contributed to my overall well-being and continued transformation in my own personal life. And so I wanted to share that with you. These are examples of how you can change your environment, literally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. All that's wrapped in there, man. When you begin to change who you're around, when you begin to change where you are, and when you begin to change where you go internally, boom, you've changed your environment. And eventually, you'll see the type of change that you want to see. Now, did I answer every question? Absolutely not. Did I go into all this? There's only so much we can share in 40 minutes. That's why we make series. That's why we continue to do part 1s and part 2s and so on and so forth. And whatever else the Lord, puts on my heart to share with you next week, we may continue. This may be it. I don't want to give you any answer as to where we are with this. I flow as God leads me, as I believe that he's leading me. So for right now, this is part 2. Will there be a part 3? I don't know. Right? Leave me a review, email me, let me know if you want a part 3. Okay. But if not, I'm going to go with whatever the Lord leads me on. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys this week. You've got the power to choose. Therefore, you've got the power to change, guys. When you begin to change those environments, man, everything else opens up. All right. Last thing before we get up out of here, as always, head over to iamthepossible.com. Get your free masterclass of the What's My Worth masterclass, self-discovery. It's all about that self. Listen, guys, everything I just shared. See, that's why I keep promoting the free masterclass. This is why I keep talking about get that self-discovery, What's My Worth masterclass. Why? Because if you don't think you're worth it, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're not going to do anything. My change began in jail. I'm not going to go down that route right now, but you guys have heard my testimony. I was facing 15 years. The only reason that I'm with the Lord and I'm this man of God and I'm preaching and teaching and all this other stuff is because my butt was in jail because my environment changed. I got yanked off the streets, put my butt in the county jail, and Jesus grabbed a hold of me. I met my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in a jail cell. Guys, I didn't think I was worth anything. So I didn't do nothing about my environment. I didn't try to change it. I wasn't trying to be conscious. I wasn't trying to be nothing, right? I thought I was worthless. So I was, hey, throw me in jail, whatever, right? My life changed because my environment changed. So I want you to get your worth. I want you to know your worth. I want you to know that you're worthy of it, that you're worthy of change, that you're worth the change. Yeah, your life is valuable. We need you, and we need the best version of you. So head on over there, iamthepossible.com, get your free masterclass and learn your worth. Number 2, prayer requests info at iamthepossible.com. If you guys have any prayer requests, you guys have any questions about anything that I shared, please hit me up on info at iamthepossible.com. And then lastly, guys, support. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please support. Please subscribe to the iTunes, the YouTube. Show your brother some love. Share it. Let somebody know that it's available. Tell somebody. Let somebody know that this information is out there. Let them know that somebody loves them, that someone is sharing something from a love place in his heart. I just want the best for you guys, man. My life has been so blessed, so transformed, and so changed through the love of God that I want to share it with everybody. I want to point everybody back to him so you guys can experience not even just what I'm experiencing, but experience even more, right? Even better. But I just want you to be connected with God, man. And so share, let people know, right? Let's get them hooked up, and then leave me a review. If you haven't done so already, head over to iTunes, man. Leave me a review there. If you're watching on YouTube, drop me a comment. Let me know what's up. Just say what's up, what's happening, what's going on. If anything hit you, touched you, drop a comment, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. Let's just chop it up. Let me know where you stand. Because again, all those things help me to understand what I need to be sharing, what I need to be, talking about, talking on, and sharing and breaking down. So yeah, man, let me know. All right, hit me up. And that's it, man. That is it. So anyway, we're going to get it, man. We're going to get it. All right. I love you guys. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. This is Travail C.W. Lynch, Mr. What Your Self-Worth Specialist. This is the I Am the Possible podcast experience. And this is the place where possibilities become perspective. Remember, the greatest thing that you will ever become is what? It is accepting of what you already are. Until next time, peace.